Aloha and welcome to Tantrum House Studio 808. I'm Psychic Larry and this is the BLOC video for the first half of May 2024. This video is sponsored in part by Only Then Studios. Their game Wicked Cribbage is coming to Kickstarter soon. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Coming to Kickstarter on May 1st is Micro Midgard by Prometheus Game Labs. Micro Midgard is for 1 to 2 players and will play in about 15 to 30 minutes. Micro Midgard is a worker placement game where players move meeples on a shared board to gain resources, craft relics, and complete quests to gain glory, as the wolves Skull and Hades ever get closer to catching the sun or the moon. They also will have a Ragnarok edition if you want something with more table presence. Coming to GameFound on May 1st is Long Dark Sea by Delucio Games. Long Dark Sea is for 1 to 4 players and will play in about 40 to 60 minutes. Long Dark Sea is an exploration and adventure card game where deck building and resource management are its main mechanics. Play solo or cooperatively with up to 4 players through an interactive board designed from a modular system that allows customization for each game. Coming to Kickstarter on May 2nd is House of Fado by Eagle Griffin Games. House of Fado is for 1 to 4 players and will play in about 30 to 60 minutes. In the game House of Fado, players have to manage the restaurant, attract customers, and contract and promote fadistas and musicians, thus gaining prestige for their Fado house. Managers will move their staff members to different places to perform some actions, using the same bump action as in the Gallerist. House of Fado is by Vital Lacerda, but unlike his other weightier games, this seems to be a lighter version of the Gallerist. Coming to Kickstarter on May 7th is Wicked Cribbage by Only Then Studios, our sponsor for today's video. Wicked Cribbage is for 2 players and will play in about 30 to 45 minutes. Wicked Cribbage is the first entry from new indie game developers Only Then Studios. This easy-to-learn card game plays in conjunction with regular cribbage. It was born out of a simple longing to skip placing any cards in the crib when dealt an impossibly awesome hand. This was Only Then Studios' start, and from there dozens of other cribbage-inspired desires were cataloged. Swap out a useless starter card? Check. Change a card's rank by 1 during the show? You bet. Score more than 1 measly point for pulling out the right jack? Absolutely. Without eroding the core of what makes cribbage so great, Wicked Cribbage enhances elements of strategy and luck while adding new gambles, new twists of fortune, and new moments of victory and defeat. Also coming to Kickstarter on May 7th is Vendarla by More Games. Vendarla is for 2 to 5 players and will play in about 30 to 45 minutes. In Vendarla, players will be competing to gain materials such as metals, gems, and elemental stones to craft them into weapons and armor for the Queen's Armory. Each crafted item will award the players victory points at the end of the game. Also coming to Kickstarter on May 7th is Dutch Resistance, Orange Shall Overcome by Liberation Game Design. This game is for 1 to 5 players and will play in about 90 to 180 minutes. Dutch Resistance Orange Shall Overcome is a scenario-based cooperative game about the Dutch resistance during the Second World War. The main mechanisms are pick up and deliver and resource management. The game has 5 very different, highly replayable scenarios. Coming to GameFound on May 8th is Eye of Zamrock Invasion by Infinite Galaxy. Eye of Zamrock is for 1 to 6 players and will play in about 60 to 360 minutes. Eye of Zamrock is an epic fantasy competitive game of strategy, adventure, resource management, and kingdom building, with a large world map, massive card decks, miniatures, modified dice rolling, and lore. There are many paths to victory, but not all lead to saving the world. Coming to Kickstarter on May 14th is Good Dog, Bad Zombie by the Tessa Collective. This game is for 2 to 4 players and will play in about 60 to 90 minutes. In this game, you play cooperatively as a pack of dogs, sniffing out humans in hiding to bring them back to safety. If too many humans are eaten or too many zombies get into Central Park, the feral tracker will reach 10, and we become wild dogs, forgetting our love of humanity. However, if players rescue enough humans, we all win the game. And finally, coming to GameFound on May 14th is Hannibal Hamilcar by Phalanx. This game is for 2 players and will play in about 40 to 200 minutes. Phalanx is bringing back this old classic with new additions to gameplay and many new upgrades, including metal minis. If you are a fan of Hannibal or Hamilcar, you may want to check out Phalanx's new campaign coming to GameFound on May 14th. And those are the games coming to crowdfunding this first half of May. Thanks again to our sponsor, Only Then Studios, whose game Wicked Cribbage will be on Kickstarter on May 7th, so go check them out. And as always, please leave in the comments the games that you are interested in seeing this first half of May. And until next time, aloha!